Alrighty, Citizen FM 93.7. Time now for News Roundup. What's been happening in the news? As I mentioned earlier, at least while I was introducing the show, I said so much is going on around the world, local and international scene. You remember that COP27 is ongoing, right? I remember the day it started where, going on and on and on and on and on and on and about it here on the show. That's News Roundup, because we knew we were going to be keeping tabs on whatever it was that was going to be happening there. There's been a lot so far. Protests have followed, climate change people. Somebody was bounced at the gate and the person was feeling like, hey, because I'm an environmentalist, I shouldn't be bounced at the gate and all of that. World leaders have also addressed participants and made pledges and even given positions on matters. One African president said, hey, you people should be doing us well in this Africa because we're the least when it comes to, climate, pollution generally, and we're the ones who bear the brunt of it. You should do better. Do better. Well, today, what's going on today is that U.S. President Joe Biden addressed participants and made pledge on some donations. Yes, about $500 million for Egypt's clean energy. So, as I said earlier, the donation is made alongside Europe and Germany. And he said, by he, I mean the President of the United States of America, he said that we must renew our climate ambition. Every single person must act right. Everyone must act right, especially countries that are in the position to act, to help developing nations to make better climate decisions. Let's hear what he had to say.
Good food and wealth of excellence.
The 1.5 degree goal. If we can accelerate actions on these game changers, we can reach our goal. We can keep it within reach as well. But to permanently bend the emissions curve, every nation needs to step up. At this gathering, we must renew and raise our climate ambitions. The United States is acting. Everyone has to act. It's a duty and responsibility of global leadership. Countries that are in a position to help should be supporting developing countries so they can make decisive climate decisions, facilitating their energy transitions, building a path to prosperity and compatible with our climate imperative. If countries can finance coal in developing countries, there's no reason why we can't finance clean energy in developing countries. I'm pleased to announce today, alongside the European Union and Germany, a $500 million package to finance and facilitate Egypt's transition to clean energy. This package will enable Egypt to deploy 10 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2030 while bringing offline 5 gigawatts of inefficient gas-powered facilities, reducing emissions in Egypt and power sector by 10%. We'll also work with Egypt to capture nearly 14 billion cubic meters of natural gas, which Egypt currently flares, vents, or leaks from its oil and gas operations. And because of this cooperation, Egypt is elevating its climate ambition and submitting enhanced national determination contributions. If we're going to win this fight, every major emitter nation needs to align with the 1.5 degrees.
Right, the voice of President Joe Biden as he told the COP27 climate summit in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt that the U.S. will meet its emission target by 2030 to do the country's part. Yeah, so the U.S. is saying that they will do their part in averting the climate hell, quote unquote, that the UN Secretary General warned about earlier in this week. Yeah, addressing the, participants at the summit, at the conference, UN Secretary General had warned that if the right thing is not done, climate hell looms. Anyway, so that was him. That was Mr. Biden addressing the annual climate conference this afternoon. Just a few, is it maybe an hour ago, thereabouts, maybe an hour or less. It's less than an hour ago, maybe like 45 minutes ago. Yeah, that his administration plans to supercharge efforts to reduce methane emission. All right, so now that's about an update from COP27. As I said, it's built to round off on Friday, 18th of November. And yes, we'll be keeping tabs on any developing story from that conference. let's talk about the breakfast meeting that happened today in Abuja with Abuja business community. Yeah, newsmakers, stakeholders that were there spoke on improving and, better positioning Nigeria, especially on security matters. And presidential aspirant of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, he was there. Where he spoke extensively. He said he would restore the operations of Economic Community of West Africans as ECOWAS, especially the monitoring group, ECOMOG rather. Yes, he spoke about how that he would restore the operations of ECOMOG if he becomes president in 2023. Anyway, this is what he said. He said, I have visited some states in West Africa, some countries in West Africa in the last few months, and what I told them is that Nigeria will be back. Nigeria has been retreating in the past 7 years. Did you hear about Nigeria again in the Economic Community of West African States? Yeah, that was his question. I told those presidents that I will bring back ECOMOG. I will ensure multinational forces to ensure regional security, peace, and stability so that we can all deal with this insecurity situation decisively. That's what he said. Anyway, he also spoke on Niger Delta. The PDP candidate said not situating the ministry in the Niger Delta, that's Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, it should be situated in Niger Delta. That because it's not situated in the Niger Delta, it has affected the performance of the commission and the delivery that it could have given to the people of the area. That's what he said. On the proposal for the Niger Delta Ministry, Atiku said the ministry should be situated in Niger Delta, whether it's in Port Harcourt or any other state. So the responsibility is to develop the infrastructure and human capital and so on of the Niger Delta. Everything that has to do with Niger Delta, if it affects the people of the Niger Delta, it should be at the Niger Delta. Some agree, some disagree, but that's what he said. That's what he said, as far as we know. Okay, let's hear him talk. This is what he had to say. Give me a minute. I'm going to have to get this very quickly now. Got it. Okay.
Public, from the APC, from the PDP, from the police. So you need to have more information.
Pardon me. I mentioned that the IGP was there at that meeting as well. Here we go.
Such occurrence in future outings of the party. A lot of efforts have been made, like you said, to those detention, and actually arrests have been made for those who we believe are planning to commit crime in whatever form, and we have done that arrest, and as that when due, those arrested will be charged to court by any of the services that have them.
Citizen FM 93.7 News Roundup it is, and the show is Super Citizen at Sunset. Yeah, you're with me. It's sunset now where you are, I guess, if you're in Nigeria. And you can listen to us from anywhere in the world. So I need to be sure that it's sunset where you are. Maybe sunrise, but hey, it's okay. Because we're broadcasting from Nigeria and it's sunset in Nigeria. So it's just within context that we're saying Super Citizen at sunset. But if you're listening to me where it's sunrise, hey, good day to you. I hope that you have a great rest of the day. Yeah. Okay, so talking about listening to us from anywhere in the world, you could just log on to citizenfm.ng. Then you can just click on that tiny button that says play, and then that's how you listen to us from anywhere. Anywhere, I mean any practical where. So long as you're there, you can hear me. Alrighty, so now to other stories in Nigeria. Remember when Minister of Agriculture assured that there will not be any food scarcity situation in Nigeria? I'm wondering how feasible that is now, because there are fresh reports that says 25.3 million Nigerians will face food and nutrition insecurity in 2023. All right, so this is what the report says. It says about 25.3 million Nigerians across 26 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, are projected to face food and nutrition insecurity between June and August of 2023. Among the states with the highest rate include Borno with about 1.4 million people, Yobe with 1.3 million people, Adamawa with 1 million people. Now, in the projected period, food consumption is expected to slightly worsen due to possible reduction in household and market stock and its attendant rise in food prices. So this report was released by the CADA harmonized CH that was released by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development today. Yes, according to the 2022 October preliminary food security and nutrition analysis that was released, it says about 17 million people, including IDPs and returnees in 26 states and FCT, were expected to be in phase 3 of the crisis, or even worse, through October to December of 2022. So far, so good. Anyway, so the report, which was released today, I need to emphasize on that, further says 35,000 people are currently in food crisis, and that will reach worst situation out of 83,918 refugees in Benue, Taraba, and Cross River states. Reminds me, or rather, this inspired me to go back and look for where the minister said that there will be no food crisis, food insecurity, food shortage, all those food. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. Here is the minister assuring us
how much rain we're expecting in a particular year. But also, occasionally, there's also release of water from dams. All these people are warned. But sometimes, being nature what it is, even after being warned, if you don't move in time, it may come even sooner or later, all of this. So, all that said and done. Currently, yes, some of the areas are still submerged, but we have started assessing how much damage has been done, the areas flooded, how much crops have been destroyed, have been damaged. The assessment is ongoing. We're also using our remote system satellite to assess areas. We have preliminary data, but we do not have all of it. Number 3, for farmers especially, we always encourage farmers to take insurance. There are farmers that have taken insurance, so now is the time for compensation after we finish all the assessment. Number 4, the government always will have a plan of action or emergency response, just like this. What can the government do? What can the government do also to compensate those that don't have insurance? Not really compensation, but assist, come to their aid. We have that plan, and we are already activating, pending when we will finish all the assessment.
Now, with all those plans, all those plans in place, we're still getting these reports and saying that it's going to get worse. Anyway, if you remember, I think about 2 Mondays ago, the minister, that's Mohammed Abubakar, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development there, that's the voice you just heard. Anyway, about 2 Mondays ago, he dismissed concerns that Nigeria would experience food shortage in the coming months. He gave the assurance that that's the, what's it called now, the soundbites I just played you. He was responding to questions from lawmakers at the 2023 budget defense session. That session was jointly organized by the Senate and the House of Representatives Committee on Agriculture. So, what happened that day was that some of the lawmakers had decried the effects of flooding in the country on farm products, and they said projections had been made that Africa may experience food shortage given the stoppage of, grain importations occasioned by the Russia-Ukraine war, and of course our own in-house problem, which was the flood at the time. But the minister said the main concern about food security or food scarcity in the coming months will not allow that. We will not allow that to happen. I can guarantee you that by the grace of God, we have measures put in place. But then you get these assurances, and then a few days later, you wake up to stories of concerns or, confirming rather the concerns that were initially raised about food scarcity that was going to happen. Some people, in fact, during the time that first report came out, some farmers had even, tried to explain that from what we were seeing, it's not even possible that we will not have a story of food scarcity or shortage, as the case may be. Anyway, a farmer, at least, someone during the period, said the assurance by the Minister of Agriculture over food availability is not realistic, at least from his opinion, or based on the prevailing situation Nigerians have found themselves in. Yeah, I said, in fact, he was quoted as saying during the time, this was even before the statistics that were released today. The one that were released today is what inspired this further research into what had happened a few weeks ago. It's not even been, 2 weeks yet when this assurance came from the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development. He said it's not true because scarcity of food has started already, even in 2022. Inflation is not responsible for the high food prices, and it is not the naira losing its value. If demand and supply is understood, we will know that whether there is food scarcity or not, we need to know that there is food scarcity and inflation is not responsible for that. Okay, yes, I needed to just get that clearly. Where is it again? Where is it again? Where is it again? Where is it again? It says, okay. There is not an assurance of an all year round production and availability, which informs how sustainable or how these things can be sustained about food availability at the end of the day. Food shortage will get worse in 2023. First, let me start with the input suppliers, including fertilizers. In Nigeria, we don't have people who regulate business activities. Those are some of the concerns that were raised. Just a few weeks later, we're getting this statistics from the same Ministry of Agriculture. Yes, no kidding. The same Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development today released the October preliminary food security and nutrition analysis that has shown that 25.3 million Nigerians are to face food and nutrition insecurity come 2023. My God, we shall overcome. 5:45 p.m. Yes, I am able to take a call or two within the time that we have, of course. You want to react to any one of the stories so far? COP27, yes, I started with that story, and then the breakfast meeting on security today where PDP presidential aspirant Atiku Abubakar addressed some people, the nation actually, and of course, this to be or not to be, food security, food shortage, food scarcity, what's going to happen, is inflation, is it the flood? Federal Ministry of Agriculture had given an assurance that everything was in place, at least there were plans in place to ensure that we don't go through any bout of food insecurity or shortage. But here we are now, You want to talk to me? All right, 0818 22 22 205. That's the number. 0818 22 22 205. You can also call 0903 22 29 797. Hello.
Hello?
Please turn down the volume on your radio. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Ogaga.
Ogaga.
Yeah.
All right. Ogaga, where are you calling from?
From Abuja.
All righty. Ogaga, please go ahead.
The question I want to ask, what are the things that are put in place? Nothing. It's just like a white elephant project. They keep on repeating this thing. They're putting things into place. The dam came, water flooded everywhere. All the farm. It's so because there's going to be food shortage next year. So Nigerians should brace up for it. You have money, stock your house if you can. Because the government, Nigeria, the way it stands, we just have to fight for ourselves.
But then again, you ask, how much can you possibly stock? For how long? We have perishables, we have things.
We just have to do the best we can. If you can buy rice, how much is a bag of rice right now? A bag of rice is way more than 50,000 naira. If you can buy half bag of rice, we're in November, December, January, we will still continue. But the way it stands now, the government are not making provision for nobody.
Anyway.
Let me ask you just one question. Are we now in the election period? Election is very close. What are they going to do? They're going to stock for themselves because they have a lot of money to spend.
No, but
we think about anybody.
No, that's us now. That's us now projecting. That's us projecting now. We need to work with the facts that are available.
It's all part of it because the government are not thinking about anybody right now.
You can't say that because
the people. Okay. The government is you and I, the men who are in seat right now. They are thinking of how to go back to their position. Those who are not going back are thinking how to secure their next 4 years. So what are the things they are putting in place?
All right, Ogaga.
Is there anywhere we can go? Is there any place we can go right now and say, I've not eaten from like the whole day, and you can go and eat food? These are things we see in the Western world. Is there any place like that? Go to the IDP camps. Are there provision made for them? No. We should be sincere to ourselves. Even the IDP camps, their money are provided for those guys. Are they getting the 3 square meal? Are they? Are they getting the good food? So it's way more than what the minister is saying. Things are not happening.
Thank you,
It has to
Ogaga.
be said.
Thank you. Thank you for airing your opinion tonight.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, my God. The energy, man. Oh, God. What can the righteous do? Anyway, more stories coming up. Citizen FM 93.7. That's the dial. Sometimes you hear some of those reports and it just gets very overwhelming. You don't even really know where to, begin to assure from. You just, well, anyway. So the the senator is speaking. Yeah, that's another story. That's another developing story. Senator Alin Dume, again, is in the news. He represents Borno South Senatorial District. Well, he has called for a 50% slash in the salaries of the National Assembly members in order to recoup money and allocate money, too, to meet the pressing demands of ASU, at least. Ndume made the call today in Maiduguri, that's the Borno State capital, when he was reacting to this October half salary situation. The ASU members are saying, why would the federal government pay them half salaries? They are not casual workers. That's like reducing them. I mean, if they worked for October, they should be paid for October. That's the conversation. Anyway. Ndume advised the federal government to constitute a high-powered standing committee of, at least respected educationists and patriotic Nigerians to meet with ASU leadership to address these issues. The one that is burning issue now and even pending issues from several years ago. Remember when ASU called off the strike, they said something very clearly. They said although their demands are not being met, they're just calling off the strike to obey court order and then see what they can do, negotiations and stuff to ensure that not the children of the poor are bearing the entire brunt of this face-off between federal government and ASU. Anyway, so this is what he said. He said, even if it means that National Assembly will reduce seating allowances or be paid on casual allowance basis whenever they sit at the lower or upper chambers by cutting the recurrent expenditure in the budget of the federal lawmakers to settle ASU arrears, let it be so. It will be in the overall national interest of Nigerians. Can we cut down? Can it work? This is the senator speaking now. A lot of times they say, hey, senators will never agree. If you say cut down on their salaries or their allowances, they'll never agree. Here is the senator now proposing. But then again, you now wonder, the voice of one against how many? At the end of the day, there needs to be a consensus. Because we keep going back and forth. ASU will always be in the story. Federal government will say that there's always an explanation as to why some decisions are made and some are not. Anyway, here we have another call. Let's see. Hello? Can you hear me? Sorry, you have to call me again. 0818 22 22 205. That's 0818 22 22 205. Or you can call 0903 22 29 797. 0903 22 29 797. Or you can call 0808 22 22 037. Right, got it. Yeah, 0808 22 22 037. Those are the numbers. Hello? All right. Can hear you now. Let's see. What more story are we following at this time? My God, there's just so much with little time. INEC is in the news again. Yesterday, it was not so great stories we heard about INEC and their Ogun and Osun state offices. They've been through a lot too in the last couple of weeks. But anyway, are you counting down to the election as I am? Yes. I never fail to do that every single day. I wake up every morning and I'm wondering how many more days do we have to go. Anyway, at this time, at 5:53 p.m., 11 of 2022, we have about 105 more days to the election. 105 days, 14 hours, 6 minutes to the election come 2023. Anyway, so the chairman of INEC said that the commission will not be discouraged from conducting transparent and credible elections come 2023. Yeah, he was reacting to, the attack on the commission's offices in Ogun and Osun states. He said this during an emergency meeting today, that meeting happened today, the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, today, he expressed worry, though, and he noted that if no urgent and decisive steps are taken, the attacks would intensify as we approach the election date. He said a lot, but the commission, that's what he said the commission wishes to reassure Nigerians that will remain committed to delivering credible elections in spite of the challenges so far. The attempt to sabotage or to weaken the resolve will not deter INEC from conducting transparent elections in which only the votes cast by Nigerians on election day will determine winners of elections. In related matters, the president has had to speak. He's telling politicians to call their thugs to order, or else. So, federal government tracking has shown that there's been 32 reported violent incidents in about 22 states in just 1 month. In just 1 month, 32 violent incidents and in about 22 states, and INEC has tracked about 50 in 21 states. Anyway, so the president has warned politicians about the consequences of their actions, warning them to rein in their thugs or risk commensurate backlash from law enforcement agencies. That's what he said. Anyway, yes. It's just been a lot of back and forth. But remember the attack on, the PDP presidential aspirant. At least that's the most recent, right? That's the most recent, and there's been so many, and I'm sure it's captured in the list of the 50 incidents, violent incidents that have been captured in about 21. But then again, I'm wondering why are there? Are they not comparing facts and figures, like INEC and federal government? Because INEC reports shows 50 in 21 states. Federal government reports shows 32. 32 violent incidents in 22 states in 1 month. It's the same month. INEC is tracking 50 in 21 states. Anyway, that'll be about it today. Thank you very much for staying with us. But hey, 2023, make sure you do the right thing. Cast your vote wisely. Very important. Remember, it's about 105 more days to the election. 14 hours, and now it's 3 minutes. See, time is ticking. Make sure your vote counts. I am Didi. Thank you for staying with us. Top of the hour, it'll be time for news. The comprehensive news bulletin, Citizen FM 93.7.
Abuja. Wake up. Reach out. Speak up. Speak out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this is your station. Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM.